Before we begin, I want to give you a clear warning that many men over 60 never hear. If you are waking up at 2, 3, or even 5 inches the morning to urinate and you think this is normal for your age, you might be making one of the biggest mistakes of your life. Because what feels like a harmless habit may actually be silently damaging your memory, your morning blood pressure, and even your daily energy more than you realize. And today, I want to speak directly to you, not to people in general, but to the man who is tired of broken nights and tired mornings. There is something happening inside your body at night that most men never discover. Something that has nothing to do with how much water you drink, and everything to do with a tiny organ sending the wrong signals to your brain. In this video, I'm going to show you what it is, why it happens, and how you can stop it. So I have one request. Please watch this video till the very end. The next few minutes may help you understand the real reason behind your nighttime awakenings and how you can finally start sleeping through the night again. The harmless nighttime habits that actually make everything worse. Now that you understand the hidden danger behind waking up at night, let us move smoothly into something equally important: the innocent evening behaviors that silently make your condition much worse. Most men believe that waking up multiple times is simply a natural part of aging, but in reality, their own nighttime routine is often working against their body without them even realizing it. And this is where I need your full attention, because these mistakes are extremely common. Almost 70% of the men I see in my clinic make at least 2 of them every single night. Let us look at them one by one. I know P. 1. Drinking liquids too late, even small amounts. Most men think, "But doctor, I only drank 1 small glass of water. That can't be a problem." Unfortunately, after 60, the body does not process fluids the same way it used to. Your kidneys slow down in the evening, your bladder becomes more sensitive, and even a small cup of herbal tea, warm water, or a watery fruit like an orange can overload the system at the wrong time. What happens next? Just when your body enters the deeper stage of sleep, the bladder sends a signal to your brain. Wake up. It may contain very little urine, but the urgency feels strong. This is why you wake at 2 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. even if you did not drink much. This habit looks harmless, but it pushes your night completely off balance. 2. Eating salty foods during dinner or after dinner. This is a mistake. Almost nobody connects with nighttime urination. You may feel your food is not very salty, but items like cheese, cold cuts, processed bread, canned tuna, packaged soups, or even pickles contain hidden salt that traps water inside your tissues. Then something predictable happens. When you finally lie down in bed, the legs relax, the tissues release the stored water, and all that fluid begins to drain directly into the bladder. That is why many men say, "Doctor, I felt fine at bedtime, but 2 hours later I suddenly had urgency." It is not the bladder's fault. It is the salt from dinner releasing water at the worst possible time. Again, looks harmless, feels normal, but makes your nights worse. 3. Evening stimulants that irritate the bladder and prostate. People wrongly assume that decaf coffee doesn't stimulate or that a small piece of dark chocolate is harmless. But stimulants do not only work through caffeine, they also irritate the delicate lining of the bladder and the nerves surrounding the prostate. That irritation sends small but frequent signals of urgency to the brain. It does not matter if the bladder is full. The irritation itself is enough to wake you up. Foods that commonly cause this: decaf coffee, black tea, green tea, dark chocolate, spicy foods, certain herbal teas. These foods do not wake you up because of volume. They wake you up because the sensitive nerves around your bladder become trigger-happy. 4. Holding urine during the day. This is a big mistake for men over 60. When you hold urine for long periods, the bladder works under pressure. Over time, it becomes more reactive, more jumpy, more sensitive. So at night, even a few drops are enough to send a strong alert to your brain. Men often tell me, "Doctor, I don't want to interrupt my day, so I hold it." But this habit trains the bladder in the worst way possible. It becomes conditioned to overreact even when there is almost nothing inside. The truth you must remember: each of these habits seems innocent. None of them looks dangerous. But together, they create the perfect environment for your prostate to swell, your bladder to become irritated, and your brain to wake up again and again. And here is something important. Your body is not waking you because you have a full bladder. It is waking you because the system has become overly sensitive. In the next part, we will go deeper into this sensitivity through a real patient story a story that might sound surprisingly similar to your own nights. If you are ready, let us continue. A real patient story from India proving the root problem is not the bladder but the prostate. After understanding how these innocent evening habits silently make your nights worse, I want to take you into the real-life experience of a man whose story reflects exactly what thousands of people over 60 go through. His case will show you clearly that the true problem is not the bladder, it is the prostate sending the wrong signals at the wrong time. Let me introduce you to Mr. Ramesh Kumar, a 66-year-old retired school teacher from Pune, Maharashtra. A calm, disciplined man, respected in his community, and someone who devoted his entire life to educating children. But despite his peaceful nature, his nights were anything but peaceful. For almost 2 years, Rameshji woke up 4 to 5 times every single night. He tried everything, drinking less water, changing his mattress, avoiding tea, even doing evening walks. Yet nothing changed. In fact, his condition was slowly getting worse. He described his nights to me in a way I will never forget. "Doctor, it feels like my brain has an alarm inside it. Even when I am tired, even when I am dreaming, suddenly I wake up with urgency. But when I go to the toilet, only a few drops come out." These few drops were the biggest clue, the hidden pattern behind his suffering. When I asked him to tell me about his routine, he explained he avoided drinking water late, he avoided salty snacks, and he avoided tea after 6 p.m. So clearly his habits were not the only issue. Something deeper was happening. His bladder was not full, yet the urgency was strong. He felt pressure, not volume. He felt alarm, not necessity. This is the classic signature of prostate-driven false signals. So I performed a complete evaluation. His bladder looked normal. No infection, kidneys functioning well. But his prostate, although not extremely enlarged, was inflamed and highly sensitive. This sensitivity was exactly what was destroying his sleep, how the inflamed prostate tricked his brain every night. People believe urgency means the bladder is full. But in many older men, urgency comes from the nerves around the prostate, not from the bladder. In Rameshji's case, the swollen prostate compressed the urethra just enough to irritate the nerves. These nerves then sent alarm signals to the brain. "Wake up! Urinate now!" But when he went to the toilet, there were only a few drops because the bladder was not the source of the signal. The prostate was. This is why his nights broke into pieces. This is why he felt exhausted every morning. And this is why focusing only on the bladder, less water, less tea, never helped him. His body was not waking him for urine. His body was waking him because the prostate was asking for help. The turning point that changed everything. Once we addressed the inflammation, adjusted his evening habits, added nutrients that calmed the prostate, and taught him specific relaxation techniques for the pelvic floor, something incredible happened. Within 10 days, he went from waking up 5 times a night to waking only once. Within 3 weeks, he slept full nights without interruption for the first time in years. His wife told me, "Doctor, he smiles more now. His mornings look lighter." This is what happens when the true root cause prostate inflammation is finally treated, not ignored. A quick request to you. If this story is helping you understand your own nights better, please comment number 1 and share this video so more people can learn the truth. If you did not find it useful, comment 0. Your feedback also helps me improve. In the next part, I will explain what exactly happens inside the prostate at night and why the signals become so strong after the age of 60. This knowledge alone can transform the way you manage your sleep and your health. Shall we continue? Clear biological explanation. Inflamed prostate, hypersensitive bladder, continuous nighttime awakenings. Coming from Rameshji's experience, there is one important conclusion we must carry forward. The bladder is not the villain. The real troublemaker is the inflamed prostate, quietly miscommunicating with the brain and disturbing your sleep night after night. To understand why this happens, we need to look inside the body and see the simple biology behind your midnight awakenings. Let us break it down in a clear, practical way. 1. The prostate sits like a ring around the urethra. Imagine your urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the body, as a flexible pipe. Now imagine your prostate as a ring-shaped collar surrounding that pipe. When the prostate is healthy, this collar is soft and relaxed, allowing urine to pass smoothly. But when the prostate becomes inflamed even slightly, it tightens around the pipe. This tightening does not need to be dramatic. Even a few millimeters of inflammation can create a significant change inside the body. This is the first step of the problem. 2. Inflammation compresses nerves and sends false alarm signals. The prostate has many tiny nerves around it. When inflammation occurs, these nerves become irritated and overly active, just like a sensitive tooth that hurts even with cold air. These irritated nerves then send false messages to the brain, saying, urgency, need to urinate, even when the bladder is barely holding a few drops. This is why many older men wake up with pressure but produce almost nothing. It is not about the quantity of urine. It is about the nerves being overstimulated. 3. The bladder becomes hypersensitive because of chemicals released by the inflamed prostate. Here is a fact very few people know. An inflamed prostate releases inflammatory chemicals. These chemicals irritate the lining of the bladder, making it hyperreactive. This turns your bladder into something like a sensitive smoke alarm. In a normal home, the alarm rings only when there is real danger. But in an overly sensitive home, the alarm rings even when there is a bit of steam from the shower. Your bladder works the same way when inflamed prostate chemicals irritate it. It reacts to the smallest changes, a few milliliters of urine, a shift in body position, or the slight movement during sleep. This is exactly why you wake up multiple times even when the bladder is close to empty. 4. Nighttime physiology makes everything worse after age 60. During the night, your body enters a different biological mode. Body temperature falls, blood flow shifts, muscles relax, the autonomic nervous system changes its pattern. In this environment, the prostate tends to become more rigid and more sensitive, not less. And there is another complication. After the age of 60, the body produces less vasopressin, a hormone that tells the kidneys to reduce urine production at night. Lower vasopressin, more urine, more pressure on an already irritated system. So now your body has a sensitive prostate, a reactive bladder, nerves firing false alarms, increased urine production. This combination creates the perfect storm for repeated nighttime awakenings. 5. The result: your brain is forced awake again and again. When the bladder or prostate sends urgency signals, the brain responds instantly. It does not check whether there is enough urine. It does not verify whether it is real or false. It simply wakes you up. That is why the cycle continues. Inflamed prostate, irritated nerves, sensitive bladder, false urgency, broken sleep. Once you understand this chain, you also understand why changing your evening routine alone is not enough. You must address the prostate, directly reduce its inflammation, relax the pelvic muscles, and support the body's nighttime calming processes. In the next part, I will show you the practical steps, simple, science-backed actions that can naturally calm your prostate at night and help you sleep through without repeated interruptions. Shall we move forward? The 3 practical steps you can start tonight: beta-sitosterol fruit, water timing, and the 60-second relaxation ritual. Now that you clearly understand how an inflamed prostate can trigger false alarms and disturb your sleep, it is time to move into the most important part of this video, the 3 practical actions that you can begin right from tonight. These steps are simple, science-based, and specifically designed to calm the prostate, reduce bladder sensitivity, and allow your brain to stay asleep through the night. Let us go through them one by one. 1. A fruit rich in beta-sitosterol before bedtime. The most effective and natural support for the prostate is a fruit many people already know: pomegranate. It contains beta-sitosterol, a compound proven to reduce prostate inflammation and relax the tissues around the urethra. To get the best results, take half a cup of pomegranate seeds, or 120-150 grams, about 1 hour before sleeping. Do not mix it with milk or yogurt, because dairy blocks the absorption of many plant nutrients. Pair it with a small amount of healthy fat, like crushed walnuts or a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, to improve absorption. Just this simple habit can begin calming the nighttime sensitivity of the prostate within days. 2. Control your water intake with the 90-minute rule. After the age of 60, drinking even small amounts of liquid late in the evening can overload the bladder. So follow this golden rule. Stop drinking liquids 90 minutes before going to bed. Have your final glass of water at dinner, not after. If your mouth feels dry later, just rinse or take a small sip, not a full glass. This rule alone can reduce nighttime awakenings by 30–40% in men with prostate sensitivity. 3. A 60-second pelvic relaxation exercise before sleeping. This is one of the most underrated but powerful techniques. When the pelvic floor is tense, it increases the pressure on the prostate and amplifies urgency signals. Just before lying down, sit at the edge of your bed. Take a deep breath in, relax your lower abdomen, gently tighten your pelvic muscles for 3 seconds, and release slowly for 6 seconds. Repeat this for 1 full minute. This simple exercise calms the nervous system and reduces the false alarm signals that wake you up. A final message for you. If you apply these 3 steps consistently, your nights can transform faster than you imagine. Better sleep means better memory, better mood, better mornings, and a better quality of life at any age. If this video has inspired you or given you clarity, please like it, share it with someone over 60, and comment "I'm ready" below. Your single action might help another person sleep peacefully again. And if you want more science-based guidance for healthy aging, don't forget to subscribe.